Okay, in this video, and again it may have to be split up into a couple of videos, I'm going to do your circle unit review problems, so I'm going to be working through all the solutions on those. So starting off with number 1, if you look at the directions 1 through 4, say find the circumference of each circle, use the pi symbol on your calculator, round your answer to the nearest 10. So looking at number 1, I know to find the circumference, I'm going to use pi times the diameter. And number 1, they give me the diameter 22.4. So all I've got to do is plug this in. So I've got pi times 22.4 being the diameter. Now again, on your Inspire calculators that we use, we're going to do pi. Then I'm going to do times 22.4. And again, I need to round to the nearest tenth, so I get 70.4, and you want to make sure that you remember your units of measure, 70.4 meters. And again, since all 4 of these are diameters, you just continue and repeat that process through the next 3 problems. So again, number 1 is about 70.4 meters. Number 3 is going to be 68.5 miles. Number 2 is going to be about 37.7 miles. And then on the 4th one, you've got about 32.7 yards. Looking at number 5. Number 5 says find the area of each. For these, use 3.14 for pi. Round your answer to the nearest 10. So my goal is to find the area of these circles, which is pi r squared, but the only thing they give me to work with is circumference. And I know that is found by pi times the diameter. Well, so I'm going to start there and I'm going to use it. So the circumference is 18.8 equals pi times the diameter. And again, for pi, I'm going to be using 3.14. For that also, I want to continue to solve this equation. I want to divide by 3.14. It eliminates it on the right side, so I've got my diameter equal to, at this point, I want to kind of use my calculator to finish this problem on out. Okay, and I'm going to show you why. So look at your calculator. I want to do control division. And again, I'm dividing 18.8 divided by 3.14. Now that number that's represented right here is my diameter. But to do area, I need pi r squared, so I need my radius. So I'm going to take this answer, and I'm going to divide it by 2. So now the number I'm looking at right here, the 2.99363, that's my radius. So I'm going to take that number, and I'm going to square it. So there's my radius squared, and then I'm going to multiply it by 3.14. And it's better doing it this way, because first of all, who wants to write all this down? Secondly, it's better than rounding throughout the problem. You don't want to round until the very end. All right? So again, looking at my final answer for this, 28.1, since I'm rounding to the tenths. Please do not forget your units of measure, square kilometers. Again, I'll do this one more time on the next one. A little bit faster. So I have a circumference of 31.4. So I'm going to jump to my calculator. I know that 31.4 means needs to be divided by 3.14. Remember that that results in my diameter. From there, I need to cut that number in half. And I'm going to take it, I'm going to square it. It gives me 25 times, I'm using 3.14. And I wind up with 78.5 square inches for my area on number 6. All right, number 7. On number 7, it asks, find the circumference of each circle. Use your calculator's value of pi. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So circumference is pi times diameter. I'm given the diameter in this problem. It's 19, so pi times 19. If I do that out of my calculator and round off to the nearest tenth, again using my pi symbol, I'm going to do pi times 19. Rounding it off to the tenths, I get about 59.7. Square meters. Right? Next problem, number 8. Number 8 starts looking at arcs and central angles. Okay? So number 8 wants me to find the arc DEB. So to find DEB, that's talking about this arc all the way around to B. Well, I've got a central angle right here of 60 degrees. So I know that from D to E, that's 60. I need 2 more pieces here. Let's see. Ooh, I noticed this. This central angle, that's 65 degrees. These are vertical. So that's 65. Therefore, from E to F is also 65 degrees. The last part I need can be looked at a couple of different ways. The way I notice it is the fact that I've got a semicircle. So I would do, to find out B to F, I would do 180 minus 65. If you do that, you're going to get 115 degrees. That's from B to F. Now I just need to total it up, right? So to get the measure of arc DEB, I need to take 60 plus 65 plus 115. Whenever I do that, I get that my final answer is 240 degrees for that arc. All right, next, the measure of an angle this time, EDG. First, let me find it, EDG. Well, a piece of it...
Test, 1, 2, test.
A piece of it, EDG, is 64. Plus, I gotta find this other piece. Okay? I need this one. While looking at that, again, I'm going to notice that I've got a semicircle here, so I can find this angle. So finding this angle, all I need to do is 180 minus 64. In doing that, I get 116 degrees. And these are vertical, so this whole angle is 116. But again, I don't care about the whole angle. I just want to know what this piece is. Well, they're split evenly. So 116, cut it in half, I get 58. So now I've got 58 degrees. Add the two together, you wind up with 122 degrees. Is the measure of that entire angle. Number 10. BWU. So again, there's a couple different ways you can go about doing it. This is kind of a tinier angle than what we dealt with here. So BWU, the first thing I'm going to notice is that I've got a semicircle here. That means that's 110 degrees also. So if I can just do 180 minus 110, I've got it. So my answer is 70 degrees. Number 11. Number 11 takes a little bit more thought. So I've got UXT, which is going to be a central angle. Well, I know its arc and central angle are the same, so this is -1 plus 156x thing I need to do in this problem is I gotta go find x. What is it? I gotta go find that value of x. Well, this is something I noticed right off pretty quickly. That's also 60 degrees. If I were to add all these arcs up, I could set them equal to 360. And I think that's going to let me find x. So I'm going to do that. 47 plus 43 plus 60 plus 54 x plus 1 minus 1 plus 156 x equals 306. Woo! A long problem, but very, very doable. If you do some algebra, you wind up getting here that x is actually equal to 1. Now that I've got x, I can actually go and answer this problem. I'm going to plug it in right here. So the measure of angle UXT is going to be equal to negative 1 plus 156 times 1. So I wind up getting negative 1 plus 156. Subtract the 1 off. You wind up getting 155 degrees.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Looking at number 12. Erase a little bit of this off. So the measure of angle HDI, well, I got to go and find that. So HDI is right here. Again, I'm running into that same problem. I've got to go and find x. So I've got to devise a way that I can somehow figure this out. Well, a couple of different things you could do. One thing I notice here is that these two angles are vertical. So I could say that this is also x plus 61, which means that this arc right here from E to F is also x plus 61. So then I take into account that I've got a semicircle. From that knowledge, I can actually set up an equation. So in doing that, I'm able to set up that x plus 127 plus x plus 61 is equal to 180 degrees. If you work that out, you wind up getting that x is equal to negative 4. Again, x is a number that I'm plugging in. I'm not saying that an angle is negative, because watch what happens. When I plug it in, and again, right here was the angle that I want, x plus 61. When I plug in negative 4 plus 61, I wind up getting an answer of 57 degrees for that angle. All right, number 13. Looking at number 13, again, several different ways you can tackle this problem. I'm looking for JIK, I'm looking for that angle. I know that it matches its arc, which is 156 plus x. Again, running into the same problem, I got to go and find x. Well, in doing that, I would do the same exact thing that I did on number 11. I notice that's negative 65x minus 1. That's 41, that's 40, that's 61 plus x. I would add all these up and set them equal to 360. If you do that, you wind up getting that x is equal to negative 1. So all I've got to do now is plug it in. So I've got my negative 1. I'm going to plug it in right here. Right here. So I'm going to get 156 plus negative 1 gives me 155 degrees, and actually wound up being the same exact answer as number 11. The other half of this review will be on a second video, so please click on it to see the second half.